All right, folks, don't touch that dial. There's nothing wrong with your TV today, but I got to tell you, this is Rockstar Thursday on Cliff's Notes as we introduce Jeff Wilhems of the Marsee Wilhems team, the $1 billion agent, next on Cliff's Notes. Real estate agents, are you struggling with the day-to-day grind, dialing for dollars, putting in hours of floor time with little to show for it? Are you looking for tips, tricks, and tactics to accelerate your career as an agent that will have you closing more homes, working with more clients, and earning more money than ever before? Hi, my name's Cliff Freeman, and I've spent the past 2 decades of my real estate career running one of the top brokerages in DFW and personally coaching over 1,000 high-performing real estate professionals across North America. I created this podcast to share the strategies and tactics you need to explode your real estate business. I guarantee it. All right, welcome C3. Hey, get a shot of this, Trelvis. You got this, man. We got the digs going today, right? Is this?
Hey, y'all are looking awful spiffy on camera today, man.
I got to tell you, man.
Y'all looking very spiffy.
We're ready to go to the club. There's no question about it. And we are honored today. This is Rockstar Icon Agent Thursday. Today we have one of the top agents, a husband partner of Marsee Wilhems of the Marsee Wilhems team. Jeff is with us. He's in Tucson today. Let's go ahead and bring Jeff on. Jeff, how are you today, brother?
Man, I'm doing great, Cliff. How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm great. What's that jacket you got on there? My goodness.
Man, I thought I would spiff it up. When you were in Vegas, I saw a jacket just like this that you were wearing, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to step up and be more like Cliff. So I bought this jacket.
Man,
you like it, baby?
You are styling, brother. I love that, man. That's it. That's I can't wait to see you. You guys are going to be in PV next week with us, right?
I wouldn't miss it. We're actually getting in on Monday, and we extended a couple days. We're going Monday to Monday, man.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I'm going to be sure to pack the jacket. We may have to do a remote from Puerto Vallarta Thursday, brother. You're looking great, man.
You know what? I might be able to sneak this thing into my suitcase just for you, buddy.
I appreciate it.
He'll definitely bring his.
Well, for those of you who don't know the backstory, we were in Vegas at, let's see, what were we down there for? That was EXP Con, right? Wasn't it? We were in Vegas for that, and we got to meet. It was Jeff's birthday, and
no, wait, man, we were there for like the concert. We were just up in Vegas after Christmas.
Oh, that's right. No, that's right. Yeah. We just went there. You were there for the weekend for your birthday. This was between Christmas and New Year's, and I happened to tote this jacket along with me. I like to, when I go to concerts, and I like to sit close and dress up like I should be on stage. And so I had this on.
You actually treated us to the Journey concert, and you had this jacket on during the Journey concert. That's what it was, man.
That's right.
Exactly
that's
right.
What Yeah. And so then, Jeff, you got motivated. You said, "Man, I gotta use." That's right. You said, "I gotta be like Cliff, and I gotta go get one." So I tell you, I take my hat off. You got a great thing going on there, man. It looks terrific. So let's go ahead and dig in, man. I want to unpack. There is so much that we could talk about, Jeff. You and your wife are unbelievable. You guys have sold more than 5,000 homes in your career. You guys have done over $1 billion in GCI. Is that right? Oh, not GCI. Sorry, that'd be a little much, but $1 billion. $1 billion in sales, right? So, I mean, that is, what are you like in the top what? I mean, how high can you climb? You were in Wall Street Journal. What were you ranked there?
I think at one time we were top 20 in the country, but more importantly, it's really about where our clients rank in our hearts, because I think it all starts with being number one. Letting everybody know they're number one that we're dealing with, and then the numbers all just kind of take care of themselves. But that's very nice of you to say. Yeah, we've sold a few homes, sure.
Well, I mean, we got to pay the respect, man. I mean, you guys are just unbelievable, and I know, and you're right. I mean, the money we make is just an indicator of how well we serve our clients, and obviously, you guys do a terrific job. 5-star, just wonderful reviews from your raving fan clients, and you continue year after year, and gosh, you just I mean, your team is so cohesive, and you guys run such a great ship there. I mean, you're really a model for all of us in the business to look at and study and learn from. So, I'd like, if you don't mind, the road to where you are today, Jeff, has not always been a smooth road. Will you kind of just tell us a little bit take us back here and tell us about some of the struggles that you and Marsee have had in the past? What are some of those tough moments as you guys were building your team?
Well, Cliff, first and foremost, I want to thank you for recognizing all the hard work that our team does, because without the members of our team and the support that Marsee and I have around us, we could never do what we do. So first and foremost, we want to thank our team, and then I want to thank all the mentors that we've had along the way, because obviously what you do, how important it is to have mentors and to learn from what they've done. And in terms of struggles, I mean, I don't know. We all go through struggles. We all go through times when I think that when you're building a real estate business and a team, you wonder why you do what you do. But then there are those moments that you're certainly glad that you're doing what you're doing, and all the lives that we're able to affect and change, and it's a lot of fun. But man, to talk about the tough times, I kind of get emotional, because there was a time that we were so broke we couldn't pay attention when we were first getting started, and and you just got to take yourself, I guess, when you need some motivation, you just take yourself to some of the darkest times that you've had, and I guess motivator, if you will, is to I constantly tell myself I never want to go back to those moments. It's a lot more fun being where we're at now, but at the end of the day, man, I don't know. I don't know any one moment that was tough. That I remember back, there were a lot of tough moments, but everybody goes through that. I think it's how you react to it. A perfect example. Can I give you an example of kind of what I'm talking about, failing forward?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, listen, and let's just let it be known right now that you're also a highly respected coach, and you coach a lot of agents. So, lay it on us, Jeff.
Well, I was watching a basketball game last night, and I'm a born and raised Indiana Hoosier. So obviously, I with that kind, unfortunately at times comes with being an Indiana Pacer fan and a Colts fan, and of course I got the Hoosiers right here. But I was watching the Pacer game last night, and after a whole year of being out from the Pacers lineup, there's a guy, Victor Oladipo. Everybody was waiting his return. He's been out. I think it was a quad injury or something that put him out of basketball for. I mean, they didn't even know if he's ever going to play again. And he's an amazing ball player, very young but super talented. Well, he comes in and he struggles, and the team's been doing pretty good with him all year, and he kind of struggles, and he's shooting the ball. He was like 1 for 5 from the field, and then another from 2-point then land, and then he was like 0 for 5 in 3-pointers. But he's the leader. And the team's relying on him. And there's literally like 5 seconds to go in the game. They're down by 3, and he fires up a 3-pointer from about 8 feet behind the 3-point line. Just pulls up, takes a quick 3, drills it, and puts his team into overtime. They end up winning by 9 points. But the point of the story is that he failed 5 times shooting threes in that game, but he wasn't afraid to fire it up there that 6th time. And then his 6th time is all anybody's ever going to remember. They're going to remember that he put him into overtime and the team won the game, and it was his first game back after a year. And I'll promise you that, we've all heard the story where the greats in sports like Michael Jordan made a lot less game-winning shots that he took. He took a lot more game-winning shots that he missed, rather. But people only remember the game-winning shots. And I think that when we talk about our success in real estate, over $1 billion in sales and 5,000 homes sold, and this big team, everybody just thinks it kind of just happens. It doesn't, man. It starts with one person, and then two, then three, then you go back to two, then you add another team agent, then you struggle along the way, and you figure out a way to get up every morning and go do it again, and then you have a few successes, and then you just keep parlaying on those successes and building from it. I mean, and because you've coached and trained, and you know what it's like. It's nothing worth doing, I don't believe, is easy. So, all credit is given and all glory is given to God and our team, and just that's just the way that you just keep persevering, man. I mean, I don't know what else to really say about that, but no one bad time, Cliff, just a whole lot of perseverance, man.
Right. It's sort of, it's not the elephants that get us in this business. There's a lot of ants, right? And you gotta be aware of the ants. It's incredible. You get such high performance out of your agents. Tell us what do you talk about in your team meetings? How do you keep that energy level up? What's the kind of mindset thing that you guys go through? What are your do you do affirmations? How do you keep that culture of just top production within your team?
Well, I think that really goes to building the culture. I got to give a lot of credit where credit is due. One of our coaches that we've had over the years, Bob Corcoran, he helped us bring the culture in our team, and we learned from reading a book, and all of our team agents read a book called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. It's a requirement when you join our team, and it talks about the different levels of dysfunction. So we all know that the number one dysfunction is the absence of trust. And then if you don't trust each other, then you're always going to have fear of conflict, and people are not going to be able to feel comfortable saying what's really on their mind. And I think when you start with those two key functions or dysfunctions rather, 5 dysfunctions of a team. Maybe I said 5 functions. It's 5 dysfunctions of a team. And I think that when they recognize that these 5 dysfunctions of a team are so important, and we all have those dysfunctions even in our daily lives. And then once we have agents and team agents and team members rather, when we all know that we're just human and we all make mistakes, but we're not afraid to call each other and hold each other accountable, call each other out rather and hold each other accountable. We're not able to laugh together, to cry together, to celebrate together. I just don't think that you'll ever get as much out of your team, and you can't be fake about it either. I'm pretty vulnerable with our team. I know Marsee is, and they are with us. So with honesty, and if you're honest with each other, you can trust each other. And so every meeting, every team gathering, every function that we have, we start that is structured. We start with we want everybody to talk about their personal best. Hey, we go around the room, and it's getting harder and harder now that we're getting bigger and bigger. But we want to know what their personal best was last week, what they feel the most proud about, or what happened in their life, and many will share that. So the team, we all get to know each other more. And then we say, what was your business best? And then, so each agent on our team, each member of our team starts out our meetings that way. And it's amazing what you get to find out about people when you let them talk a little bit about what's important to them and what happened to them. And it goes to that trust. And so then when there is a little conflict or potential for some conflict, they don't fear it as much because we're more like a family. Families can argue, families can fight, but families forgive. And most of the time, and I think that when your team feels like they're part of a family, they're going to react a lot more. And so I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but that's kind of been our philosophy.
No, I think you nailed it. The whole trust issue is absolutely critical. I want to take a step back here and talk a little bit about your background, and I want to preface the conversation that we're about to have by saying that Robert Kiyosaki, I heard him asked in an interview one time what kind of a background he would look for for someone to become a successful entrepreneur? You know what his answer was, Jeff? What kind of a background do you think Robert Kiyosaki believes is the best background to have to be an entrepreneur?
You know what? That guy's a really brilliant guy, but I don't believe I've heard it.
He says someone who's been in the service, who has served in the military. Because
Makes sense.
and I know you have an extensive background in serving our country. And by the way, thank you. We sincerely appreciate what you did and continue to do, and all of your colleagues that continue on a daily basis to serve this country. But what would you say are some aspects of that part of your life that have helped you become a better leader, Jeff?
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, I want to thank you, and I feel a little, I guess, not deserving of that compliment with the being in the military. Yes, I was in the military, and yes, I did a reserve duty tour, but I did not serve near as many times or many years and near as much as many, nor given as much as some of our veterans, and so. Veterans definitely have a special place in our heart, and you know, my grandfather was a veteran in World War II. My father was a veteran in the Vietnam conflict, and then of course I served in the military as well, in the U.S. Army. But I got to say that I think what the military does, right, wrong, or indifferent, I think that it instills respect. It encourages honor and value. Is ethic is also, and I just believe that when you hang around enough people that have the same mission in mind, and we're all about serving the country and defending our flag and doing what's right. I think that and you're not afraid to roll your shirt sleeves up and work. I think that's probably why what Kiyosaki's talking about is maybe your work ethic and I don't know. I mean, just not that I just don't feel like I'm very special, but I think that if you work hard at anything and you trust everybody that you're around and that's around you, and then you work to lift them up, and you hold each other accountable, and I think that's really what the Army or the Navy or Air Force or any kind of chain of command service, whether it's the police department or the fire department or your all your first responders. I mean, we all have a chain of command, and we respect that chain of command and our duties. And I don't know. I think that there's a lot to be said about that. I think every young man, if they're not going directly into college, I think they do good to go into the service for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, there's been a lot of books written about leadership and self-leadership, you know, and leaders, you know, eat last. They let the troops eat first. And, you know, I think a true leader that serves at that level is all about putting other people first. This kind of ties in to a big business decision that you and Marsee made some time ago. You guys had been with a traditional franchise for a number of years, but you saw something in EXP that appealed to you, and you and I have talked about this. Not only was it something that appealed to you, but you knew it would be better and give your agents a better opportunity than they had in the past. Tell us a little bit about what you guys had to go through, what decision-making process you guys had to do in order to decide to make what at the time was a very significant, substantial move to a little brokerage that had about 1,500 agents. What was that all about, Jeff? How was that? How did that go? What was the Wilhems household going through at that time?
You know, it's funny, and I'll see if I can keep the story short. But Marsee and I were all in with RE/MAX for 14 years. I mean, that's the only company that we really ever were at and involved with, and certainly in love with it. And they're still a great company today, and just have lots and lots of friends over at RE/MAX. But when our good friend Brent Gove called me out of the blue one day, and he said that he was literally physically and mentally disturbed by something that he had seen about where the real estate industry was headed. And he asked if we could, he was highly considering leaving Keller Williams, and he had been with Remax, and then, and Brent's not somebody to jump around, but when the market shifted, I think that he was looking for other opportunities, and he landed a great opportunity over at KW. And he didn't want to leave KW. And of course, Brent and I have been friends for the better part of our whole real estate career, 14 years or whatever at the time. And he asked me to take a look at a webinar, and my job was to talk him out of leaving KW and poke holes in this model. And so naturally, I'm like, well, yeah, I'd be happy to do that, but let me get Marsee to watch this webinar too. And he goes, even better. And I didn't realize, what he was really doing. I thought we were helping him. I think he just was trying to get us to take a peek at this model, and because he knew we'd fall in love with it. But we saw this webinar and this discussion about the company and the whole where the worlds went from, all the box stores and brick and mortar and where the companies like Amazon and Netflix and so forth have just taken over. Everything online has gone to online. We're like, well, that still isn't a big enough reason that he should leave where he's at. And then we started hearing things about stock ownership and you could be an owner of this company if you're an agent, and we thought that was important. But we're kind of whispering to ourselves, hey, maybe we should buy some stock, But we had no intention of us being the target of this phone call or this webinar. And as it turns out, we got into the portion where they started talking about not only could you own shares of stock, but the agents could also, if they liked the company, they could share this opportunity with other agents. And then if they decide to leave where they're at and come on board with this company, because this company wasn't paying all this money in brick and mortar and overhead costs like traditional real estate companies have, they would pass that savings along to the agents, i.e. with their stock and also revenue share. Unlike profit share, it was paid off the top instead of off the bottom. And so that's really what got Marsee and I kind of like raising our eyebrows a little bit. And we're like, wow, there may be more to this. And so we started asking some more questions about it. We called our coach, and it was still really more about us protecting Brent at this time. It really wasn't about us going anywhere, because we were under contract with Remax for another 2.5 years, and we knew we couldn't we felt like we couldn't break our franchise agreement. It was going to cost us roughly $76,000 or $77,000, plus moving our big operation. It was going to be another $30,000 or $40,000 bucks. But we started talking about it to our coach, and we asked him to watch this same webinar. And as soon as this webinar was over, Bob Corcoran called us, and he literally started ranting about the first thing you need to do, you got to call Remax, find out how much time's left on your franchise agreement. Then you got to do this. Then you got to do this. Then you got to do this. We're like, whoa, what are you talking about? And he goes, if you guys don't go to this company, it'll be the craziest thing that you've ever done. In fact, I don't even want to coach you anymore, because this company is going to go places. I know these people that are at the top of this company. I've heard their names. I've heard people talk about them, and they just don't have any mega stars to join the company. And what will really make this company blow up is once people see how good this model is. And if you guys come on board, there are going to be a lot of other people that they'll start turning their heads and looking at this company. And I just think that you should do this. And if it doesn't work out, you could always be an independent because your name's really big anyway. And we're like, well, wait a minute. We don't even know what all that cost is. He's like, don't worry about it. Just do this. So then Marsee and I started talking about it and thinking about it more. And she said, look, I think that this is a great opportunity for our agents. Forget us. I mean, we're doing well. We'll do well where we're at. But what about our agents? 10 years from now, they're going to keep having to sell homes over and over and over. But with this business model, if they take advantage of it, they can put some money away for stock. We don't have a stock program with Remax right now where they can buy shares of stock with a percentage of their income. We certainly don't have a revenue share model where if they refer their friends to the team or anywhere else around the country to the company, that they get to share in a tiny percentage of income from their sales. So they got to start over from zero every month. And, I don't want our agents to be here 10 years from now and be starting over from zero every month. And so that really resonated with me when my wife said, let's do it for our agents. And that's when I was convinced, okay, well, she's convinced, so let's investigate it and further. And so we got into it. And then I started really talking more, asking more questions. People were flying out to see us, and one thing led to another. We made the move, and that was literally 3 years ago in December, Cliff, that we made the move. And certainly glad that we did, for sure. You know the rest of the story, I think. But it's crazy.
I do. Yeah. Tell us, just over your right shoulder there, Jeff, behind you, you've got a map, and then you've got a board, and I see some numbers. I don't have my glasses on, but what does that board say there behind you?
Yeah, so this is what's called a wealth chart, and now a good friend of ours. At the time, he was the gentleman that did the original webinar that we watched about EXP. But he had this wealth chart that he put together, and it was basically, if you really want to make a bunch of money in this company selling real estate, which we do anyway, this is what you should do. And it just kind of keeps track of, you put up there, in these little circles, names of people that joined the organization, and then how many of those people that we personally brought in, that you helped them bring other people in, and talk about this company and share the idea. Basically just reaffirm the truth. I mean, how has it been since we've been here, and did you like it, or do you like it, and what would you do differently, and can you share with this person or that person? And then the second level becomes those agents, and then the third level, and then basically through 7 levels in our company, we now, after bringing in a little over 30 people personally, it's exploded to like 42 states in the United States, a network of agents rather in 42 states, and 3 or 4, I think 4 Canadian provinces, and now instead of just having our local team that we make revenue on, we have 1,803 agents as of this morning, all over North America. And actually, I found out 2 weeks ago we added our first agent in the United Kingdom, first 2 agents in the United Kingdom, and 2 last week in Australia. So now we're an international company that started with a phone call of us telling him, Brent Gove, why he should not leave KW and come to this company. It's just, I got to pinch myself. And now we're well over 7 figures a year in residual income, over and above the homes that we sell. I think we're on track. We should hit somewhere between 700 and 800 units in the Tucson area, but our extended family team is, my goodness, it's just nuts what's going on with EXP. So,
wow, that's amazing. You don't. Have you ever lost at anything, Jeff? It seems like you're finishing like first or in the top 10 in everything you do. Let me ask you a question. Since you got to EXP,
to answer that question though, but you can't do that to me. I have to answer that with, I've lost a lot, and a lot of times, and the more that you lose and the more you fail, the luckier you get and the harder that you continue to drive forward. At least that's me.
I know. I've seen you guys on the slot machines in Vegas. I know you get
Oh
comped.
yeah, well, that's having fun. That's being stupid, but having fun.
Yeah, but let's talk a minute about the growth of your real estate business. I know we're this is something I wanted to just touch on again. Since you've made the move 3 years ago, tell us how your real estate business has done.
Well, in terms of units or transactions, we've increased our transactions about 20% since joining the company. But we've increased here's what I'm really excited about. We increased our agent count last year. We doubled in size on our team, which is going to allow us to increase our total profitability and transaction count on our local team over 40% this year at the rate that we started out already year to date. And I don't know if you want a date out there on this, but we're here in January, and we've already put 92 homes in escrow or already closed this year, and we're only in January. So the closings in January and what's in escrow in February and March total 92 homes already, and that was actually, it was as of 2 days ago. I think I saw 3 more yesterday, so 95. So we're when we do 800 sales this year, 7 to 800. Again, I think that's a pretty conservative number. That's going to be that's about 60% more than we did last year. So it's a big jump from before. So like our biggest fear was if we left Remax that it would hurt our volume. All it's doing is helping our volume because EXP is this network of agents. They're all so loyal to each other that anytime these, like EXP now, when you mentioned 1,500 agents when we joined, I think that was about the number. Now there's over 25 or 26,000. I can't even keep track, but they know that who we are and what we do in Tucson, and so we all stick together, and they refer business too. We're getting a lot of referrals from people all over the country in the EXP network related to our real estate business that honestly we never got, even though we were way high up in Remax. There were so many Remax agents back there. I just don't think that we got that kind of. I don't know. Maybe it seems like we're getting a lot more referrals now than we ever did with that network. And I'm not putting them down, but I think at EXP, because they have a vested interest in the stock price, the agents do, and they have a vested interest in profitability for the company to drive that stock price, and then they have a vested interest in revenue share. They have our agents are getting referrals, and we're getting referrals that we never got with these other companies. Does that make sense?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it does. It just, when you have the synergy and all the engines operating on all cylinders, it's amazing how much that can add to your business. It really is. Well, Jeff,
100%.
In deference to time, and now I know why Marsee couldn't be on the show, because we did invite her, and we're sorry that she couldn't be here, but she's busy taking care of those 90 houses under contract. Yeah. But we do want to have Marsee on the show. It would be our pleasure and privilege and honor to have your wife, and then let you work while we. And no, you can come too. But
everybody would much rather interview my wife. She's a heck of a lot better looking, and she's smarter than me. So what do you absolutely. But she wanted me to pass along her apologies. She just she was not able to make it today, but unfortunately it wasn't for work. It was because she's in a 3-day ladies golf tournament at our country club right now. So nice. She's really enjoying. She's got the golf bug, and they won their flight, so she's really excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome, boy. We got a whole nother show that we could do, Jeff, and talk about the way you guys balance your lives. I mean, both of you are avid golfers. You travel a lot. I mean, you're living life to the fullest, and you're just absolutely crushing. Your team is the real estate business, and again, if you would do this honor for us, we'd love to have you back soon, so that maybe we can do another chapter here and talk a little bit more about how you could help other agents learn how to manage their lives and their businesses, so that they can really self-actualize and live a full life. That would be awesome. Would you do that? Would you come back and join us again, sir?
I would do that on one condition.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I would like you to return the favor and interview you, because you are so smart and so knowledgeable about our business, and you've already forgot more than most people know. So the people that are watching this podcast, they should know, or broadcast. I'm not sure how you're going to put this out, but at the end of the day, you know your stuff, Cliff, and people will be very wise to listen to you and to follow your guidance and direction, because you certainly are a very, very smart man, and I'm honored to be here. And C3 over there, he's not just another pretty face either. He's very smart to be sitting right where he's at. He's learning it all. So plus he's better looking than both of us, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate that, Jeff. Yeah.
He's looking forward to getting you out on the golf course again soon, right?
Definitely.
He likes to punish people. I'm not taking him on. Well, we're not betting a lot of money. I know that. I need a lot of shots.
Well, hey, hey, really, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. Sometimes I find it hard to take compliments. I'm just one of those guys, but I really, coming from you, I really appreciate that from both of us. And, we love you guys and can't wait to see you next week as we gather with hundreds of other top builders, I guess would be a good term, in our company, and we celebrate and we learn and we collaborate. Yeah, we're looking around, getting around the campfire with
next week. I'm looking forward to seeing you down there in Mexico, and Puerto Vallarta is always a lot of fun, there are going to be some amazing rock stars in our company. I just, just real quick, I just want to share this story. I flew out to Texas a couple of weeks ago and met with a team that is selling twice as many homes as we are in the company. And so I've heard, kind of some people go, well, all they do over at EXP is recruit. No, we're selling a ton of homes here at this company. And this guy, I was blown away. So I'm looking forward to catching up with him next week. I heard he's going to be down there. And we're all about sharing and sharing ideas and caring for one another so we can raise the bar and continue to succeed. So I'm looking forward to seeing and rubbing elbows with all you guys down at Puerto Vallarta next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff, anybody who's watching the show that wanted to maybe reach out to you and get learn a little bit more about your team, you, maybe even EXP, how would somebody get a hold of you? What's the best way?
Well, I think hit me up on my cell phone, and I have no problem giving it out. I mean, it's 550-9477. Again, 520-250-9477. But happy to help. Also, another way to get on my calendar, I'm constantly putting out a couple days a week in the mornings. I put out where I do, free 15-minute strategy sessions for people. They just need to get on my calendar. And I think it's at Calendly, that's calendly.com/Jeff Wilhems. That's WILHEMS/strategy. So it's a little long URL, but Calendly.com/Jeff Wilhems/strategy. So I'm happy to do either one. And I know that's probably confusing, or they can call me Cliff. Either way, or reach out to me, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm pretty easy to find out there.
Okay. Well, Jeff, if you would, when we're done here, just go into the comments and drop that info into the comment section. That'd be awesome. We'd really appreciate it. We're out of time. I'm so excited to have this chance, C3 and I are, to get you kind of 2-on-1 here and have a great exchange and drop this value on the audience. Just being around you has increased my knowledge and my awareness, and I'm really grateful to have you and Marsee as really solid, great friends. And like I said, we're glad to see you, excited to see you next week. Jeff, thanks again, and just drop that information in if some folks want to get a hold of you. That's Jeff and Marsee Wilhems out of Tucson, Arizona. Rockstar. That's why we have the attire on today, because we're celebrating Rockstar Thursday with Jeff Wilhems out in Tucson. Thank you, brother. It's great to see you, my friend. Thanks for being with us today. All right, brother. We're going to sign off. Everybody out there in Cliffs Notes lands, glad you could join us on the show today. Thanks for being here. Get out there while the weather's nice. It's getting nice. It's going to be nice this weekend. Supposed to be nice.
Good
Get
golf.
the sticks out of the garage. Good golf.
Good tennis.
Good tennis, or whatever makes you happy. We'll see you next week.